We got a new spending bill this week. I'm not sure if that means that now is the time to panic buy. But if we're buying relative to the new spending, I think we're going to need a bigger box. $1.75 trillion. It's a very big number. And I'm not going to get political here. I can barely wrap my mind around that number to begin with. And I don't know what it's going to do to the economy over the long run, but that $1.75 trillion social safety net and climate bill will be on top of the $1 trillion infrastructure bill, which is on top of the $1.9 trillion COVID relief package from last March. And somebody at some point has to pay for it. At least I think that's how money works. Now, I was already buying gold. And I try not to panic buy when things start to feel like they're going off the rails. But if we're celebrating a number like that, $1.75 trillion to bolster the social safety net and fight climate change, well, I don't know if you'd call that a panic buy anymore if you buy a little bit more than normal. I was watching Succession this week. I don't know what season I'm on. I can't even tell you what network it's on because I've never really gotten into it. But one of the characters is canceling his mom's credit card that he's guaranteed because she's panic buying a bunch of NutriBullets and Krugerrands. And I don't even have to be paying attention to catch somebody making a joke about buying Krugerrands. I'll catch that from 2 rooms away. Anyway, I thought that was funny. The family business was in crisis mode, so the estranged cousin was stocking up on gold. It's good writing. Like I said a minute ago, though, I'm buying gold whether we're in crisis mode or not. And actually, hopefully, I'm not buying in crisis mode at all, even though I joke about panic buying some gold now and then. Ideally, you'd already have some put aside, so you don't have to catch up on the run. The big question right now seems to be what the future price of gold is going to look like, whether or not it's even a good buy. And some of that is definitely important to me. So I do pay attention to the news, I do pay attention to technical analysis. A lot like I pay attention to the things that affect other markets. But really it's just about validation. If you aren't buying gold to flip for a profit, and this is a little bit of a collector coin, but I'm not expecting to just turn around and sell this for a profit. Well, then a swing of 1 to 10% in either direction for the price of gold really should not get anyone too worked up. We've all seen that the price of gold goes up over time. There's not really an argument to that. If the price goes up, though, in the short term, it's always going to make you feel a little bit smarter. And if it goes down in the short term, well, it can make you feel like you made a mistake. Now, if you dollar cost average, though, and just always buy in a schedule, you do get over that pretty quickly. And it's also easier to hold back those panic buys. I watched the Peter Schiff versus Alex Mashinsky debate on Kitco a few days ago. And it was a really good reminder that you could, should, would buy gold because 40% of all the dollars ever created were printed in the last year. So we're going to see inflation, we're going to see taxes. The price of gold goes up over the long term. And there were a lot of good points in that debate, by the way, but they're pretty much front-end loaded. It's an hour and a half long, and Peter Schiff just really loses his cool about 19 minutes in. So I'll give you the cliff notes. Peter Schiff does not want your Bitcoin. I've been buying outside of my normal stuff a little bit lately, and part of that is that I hit some goals with, say, like the Buffaloes. Part of it, I suppose, is that YouTube pays me to do some things that I wouldn't normally do. And then part of it is that I'm just pretty certain that by the time I would ever need to sell any of these, the price of gold will be well past the extra premium that I'm paying today. And besides all of that, I think I've complained a little bit about the US Mint being a bit boring, but they really did nail it with these high relief coins. I think I just had to have them in hand to really see that. Just in general, I think it's hard to go wrong buying gold right now. I'm still careful about premiums, even though I keep showing these high premium coins. And I also pumped the brakes a little bit after the recent price spike. But I'll be picking something up with the Black Friday deals, and 10 years from now, whatever deal that happens to be will probably be irrelevant. I'm told I need a reverse proof buffalo now to truly complete my buffalo goal, but the proof buffaloes just kind of seem a little bit strange to me. Off the record, I prefer the matte finish of the standard BU version. Okay, higher level, I'm just going to make a quick point. I have money in the market, I have money in crypto, I have money in a few other things, and they're all doing very well right now. I think every one of those markets is overvalued today. But if I had jumped out when I first got that sense, or when people started yelling about bubbles, people started warning about the worst crash in history, well, I would have missed out on the biggest run in history for all of those markets. Now, on the other hand, if I put all of my available cash into those investments, and I didn't hold some back for savings, and I hadn't been buying gold, then I would be pretty far out on a limb right now. And whether we see a crash of the everything bubble or runaway inflation, whatever, I guess I'd be in trouble. I just think it's really important to diversify, and I don't think that's hard advice to give. It's just how you diversify depends on you specifically. A 20-year-old is going to be a lot different than a 70-year-old, but being all in on one single thing just does not make sense to me. I can talk all day about which of these gold coins I like best and why, but I had a tough time watching Peter Schiff yelling about why everything else was a scam. Now, you don't have to like Bitcoin, you definitely do not have to buy it, but there are other markets out there that are pumping, and some of them are helping me buy more gold, so I have a tough time writing them off. And I have a feeling I'm going to have a tough time writing a lot of things off because these trillion-dollar spending bills aren't going to pay for themselves. Anyway, I'm not sure where prices are going. We got a little bit of a dip at the end of the week here, but I think you're smart to be picking some up. And if you watched that Kitco debate, let us know what you thought. I'm probably more interested in what you're up to, though, where you think the price of gold is going, because like I said earlier, that's really the big question. So let us know if you're buying, let us know if you're holding, and hey, while you're there, hit that like button and make sure you're subscribed if you're into the topic. And if you're still here, thank you again for watching. I always appreciate your time. Take care.